The U.S. presidential election, the outcome, lessons learned when we got to see firsthand yesterday how Americans actually decided. Popular vote, electoral college. So I'm thinking that it's going to go the way of 2016, where one candidate won by electoral college votes, while the other won by popular vote. But this time around, one man won via both ways, popular vote and electoral college. And the losers, the way they handled it, to be like, yes, this is truly the spirit of sportsmanship. Anyway, with me here in the studio to talk about this, I have a clergyman, political affairs commentator, join me to welcome Bishop Bright Olumese, PhD. Bishop, welcome to TMI.
Mason, good morning. Good morning,
Right.
Nigerians at home.
Okay. And of course, I have another man with a PhD. Maybe since I'm with men with PhD, later my own PhD would come. After all, my boss too, he has a PhD. Join me to welcome Daniel and no one home name. Hope I got that name.
Very well this
Now
time
that
around.
was a sentence. That was a sentence.
Good morning, everyone. Thank
All
you for
right.
having me.
And of course, PhD. Okay. Yesterday was like a historic day for America, for Americans, and of course, the world at large. People were watching, fingers crossed, because of what they saw in course of the election, the campaigns of Columbia, the assassination attempt, the allegations, court cases, you just name it, that really showed itself in course of all the process. And Americans came out to say, this is a person we want to rule us. And indirectly also the world, because take it or leave it, America is a police of the world. Let me start off from you, Dan. What do you feel about this? Trump coming out tops, the process that led to his emergence.
Well, for me, I would say that the process was okay by the people there because they went there and they delivered their mandate individually and as a collective entity. However, I would say that there are so many variables, so many indices that are actually played out. Because for me, the policies of Trump, not that is widely accepted by all. However, because of these variables that I would love to mention a few, for example, that work against the opposition. Of course, the issue of color, you can't deviate from the issue of color. You can also deviate from the issue of gender. All of these, the Democrats didn't put into consideration before going to or settling down for their candidate. However, for me, the process was a bit seamless, and for me, it's an election that other countries of the world, especially Africa, should emulate.
All right. Well, Bishop, big weights came out in U.S. election. Politicians, entertainers, wrestlers, footballers, they picked sides. And you can see that majority of them are talking about the Democrats. For Oprah Winfrey to support Kamala Harris, Taylor Swift, Eminem, you just name it. These are big names in the entertainment industry. Beyonce, the list is inexhaustible. But still, the Democrats couldn't pull through the conscience of an average American. You can see the difference, the disparity in numbers of wins that Donald Trump was able to come up with. What do you think led to that, despite the endorsement of Kamala Harris?
Okay, I want to say congratulations to Republican Donald Trump and the American people at large. And the victory was well orchestrated. It was a political victory. This slogan, "Make America Great Again," the Democrat could not comprehend it. The policies, the way this also shows us the level of awareness in that part of the world. Yes, whether you are a celebrity, whether you are a very prominent name, you represent one vote and all of that. So we saw the big wins. The Beyonce of this world came out, threw their weight around the Democrat and all of that.
The Democrat, the normal way of playing the blame game. They were this blame game between the sitting president and
The vice president.
yes, the presidential candidate and all of that. They were not, they were not campaign to issues. Look at America. America, make America great again, was really what was in the mind of every average American. When you look at the war, the way the Joe Biden administration is handling the war between Israel and Iran, what is happening in the Ukraine with Russia, and the people what is not America's role. This is something that Donald Trump came, took out ISIS, took out many enemies of America without a war. And Donald Trump has come and said, I'm not starting ending this war. And when I come, that Russia-Ukraine thing, forget about it, I'm deploying everything, is ended. That America is not competing with China. That America had all it takes. Go back to America, the taxation, the economy, no, everything worked against the Democrat. And now, this is what brought to mind. When we're seeing the result coming in, I called a friend of mine in America. He said, do you think this is your Nigeria? He said, the only person that can save Democrat now is going to call you INEC chairman.
INEC chairman.
I was so embarrassed by that statement. And I said, why will you?
That was a low blow.
Yes, I said, why will you say that? What does it mean that? He said, yes, it's only Nigeria when you see the permutation goes to this side, the result at the end of the day goes to the other side. He said, this is America. He said, we have all gone to vote. And when he showed me videos of vote, it's like a carnival. Look at the way they celebrate first-time voters. When they log in and the system says these first-time voters, you see the people clap. And I said, wow, is this election? No, Bobo. No. He said, this is not your Nigeria. See, it was mixed feelings for me. One, I said, can't we learn from this? And all of that. The joy, you could see that the loser had accepted defeat because when you are defeated fairly, squarely, the first time Donald Trump made history as a Republican, they won majority Senate, House of Rep, White House, won the college vote, won the popular vote. Wow, what a time! Make America great again was a slogan, was a movement that didn't only work for Donald Trump. It worked for the Senate, worked for the House of Rep, and all of that. You could see the party night, the election night party called for Harry. When they saw the way the swing states, Donald Trump has flashed them there. She didn't even come out for the party. The party was called off.
She told them to go home. Just go home.
They already begin to see. They already saw where America had decided to go, and I congratulate the Democrats. I congratulate the eventually winner, the Republican. I congratulate all Americans.
All right.
All we only saw the losers. They were just mute, crying, being emotional. They lost. Not resorting to arm and ammunition or trying to distort the processes or whatever.
And nobody said we are going to court.
Nobody said we needed. But go to court to do what? When you saw the defeat is beyond leaders of we want leaders already started calling in. You could see the battles that Trump fought, the media battle, the court battle, assassination attempt, and all of that. But you see, they stayed on the issues. The issues remain. Are there jobs? The questions are there for people to answer.
All right.
Inflation rate, the questions are there to answer. Security, the questions are there to answer. Look at neighboring states, the way they are encroaching into American territory. What is this guy doing? Is this America again?
I will come back to it. I will come back. It's like you love Donald Trump.
I love America. I love America.
Okay, fine. Now, let me come to you, Dr. Dan. You heard what Dr. Bright talked about. He said Trump was focusing more on issues rather than antagonism for the very first time. He talked about security. He talked about taxation. He talked about the way the international community perceived America. He talked about the war between Russia and Ukraine, between Israel, Hezbollah, and Hamas. If it should come into the picture, things will be different. Are these what the Democrats failed to really look into, for the Republican to have its way, even in the House of Rep and the Senate. Come on, it's like a resounding victory.
Yeah, I think for me, even though we tend to celebrate Trump, however, you will discover that there are so many factors, like I've earlier opined, that worked for him. Now the moment, the economy, now the decision process or decision taking. For me, Biden and the team, Democrat, appear to be a bit slow in setting decisions, in ending certain issues. For example, you are advocating for example, abortion rights and other things that, for now, that's not what the people need. The people need economic stability. It's not, even as we speak today in US, the economy is not stable. Even though it's relatively better, far better than that of Nigeria, they are not stable. So Trump told them, look, if I come, this is what I will do. I'm going to ensure that we have tax that will redistribute income or revenue to almost all. So now the issue of decision making that is very proactive. Trump in his first, they've tested Trump before, they know when he's set for something, he is a go-getter. So he was not going to slow down in taking some decision that have to do with defending the integrity of US. For example, in the area of migration, I know some persons are actually afraid now that some of those migration laws may not favor them. However, the first interest is America before the world. So Trump, they believe that Trump have all it takes to make decisions that will protect the integrity and make our United States to be in that position, that fatherly position of the world. So because of that, so all of these played out for the Republicans. They were able to position as though the man that can do this is strong. Now, if you look at that of the Democrat, they also are addressing all of these issues. They are addressing them, but the way and manner they are addressing them appear not to be okay with the Americans, because there are certain things that need urgent decision making. You don't need to slow. The process don't need to slow you down to take such decision. Like I told somebody, there are certain things you needed to do. For example, a woman is in labor, I will be checked by a doctor, and just said they need to conduct emergency CS. Then you must give an emergency yes, so that at the end of the day, you see the woman will deliver, the baby will be saved, and the mother will be saved. But by the time you decide to wait, oh, let me call my pastor, let me do this, let me do that, you now begin to die. At the end of the day, you will discover that after some time, it's now a game of 50-50. It's either you lose the baby or you lose the mother. So for me, Trump, though celebrated now, I congratulate him too, is not really, is some of his decisions, I think he may need to review some of them, because people, many persons may not be happy, but the time and chance, they say, happen to them all. The time we are today need people like Trump to, deliver the mandate of the American people.
Wow, quite interesting. So when people like Trump to deliver the mandate to the American people. Well, if you take a look at this election, Bishop, you get to realize that there's something unique about it. Some of the opinion that the reason why Trump won, other than him addressing issues because of the plethora of court cases slammed against it, that they are accusing the Democrats of being behind it. That is on one hand. Secondly, 2 or will I say 3 assassination attempts. Do you think all this put together really form the cross of American decision making yesterday?
Okay, it's part of it. There's what we call sympathy vote. It came to a time. Sometimes I also when in the build to the election, when those court cases begin to come, the first one that he wasn't qualified to run and all of that. In my opinion, I felt that the Democrats are playing to the gallery. When you pursue a man too often, you make him popular more than he ought to have been, and all of that. And they continue, persisted. He keeps carrying through, keeps carrying. So it was now obvious that look, there was all these things are put together to stop him because he was a threat, like saying that this guy can pose a threat. Because don't forget that the 2020 election, Trump believed he won. He was ringed out and all of that. So, in other words, there was this permutation. The people knows. The reason why they removed Biden, they said Biden, Trump will overrun Biden once. What the Democratic politics, the Obama syndrome played, saved the face of a Democrat. The colossal loss that would have happened, they would have not recovered from it for decades if it were go by Biden. Because what the way the votes could swing, the black people, there are some states, the Democrat had 82% black people, women as well. That was how they were able to secure the college votes they had, 200 and something. So, in other words, it was they begin to see the threat. The intention to assassinate him, it was just God that kept it. The men that matters, you can't rule Russia away
And
from
some
this.
were thinking that he faked it.
No,
Until
they
did not realize that it was true.
It was truth. Yes, it was truth. We watched the videos and all of that. So the many world leaders, like the Iranis, the Russia, whoever, nobody wanted a Trump administration. Look at, to be honest, it's not about maybe if I'm just a fan of Donald Trump. But what Biden and the Democrat was doing at the time, I felt embarrassed. The way the North Korea now is not testing ballistic missile, like I see
It's on check.
like
It's by
I
America.
said, what is all of this? This was somebody that Trump brought to drink wine. See that boy? I said, these guys will just create a problem for the whole world one day on check. So I really, as a Nigerian here, I had a real concern. And I know Americans over there, we have serious concern as well. So all of those things put together work for Donald Trump. Because seeing that Donald Trump was a man who eventually, when he tells you he wants to do this thing, just be talking your own. He's gone ahead.
Yeah.
And all of that. He's not a noise-making guy. He took down some of all these big terrorist threats. I was telling my friend, Donald Trump win. He said stability in the world government system for the next four years. I said, why? You will see many of all these, many of all these groups that are growing up now, they are the way they will hide in the first place. Because they know the guy that has come will not romance with us. If we bring ahead anyway, this guy will he will come after us like somebody that means business. Just like he rightly said, the Biden decision most time a little bit too sluggish. When he now makes decision, it comes too late. Like I said, what is all of this? I was telling somebody, that's not bad in the Donald Trump immigration laws or whatever. Yeah, that's what our presidents don't do. Other presidents, the first obligation you have is to your citizens. Yes, if the Mexico border is creating a threat to an American place, we put a wall there and all of that. Yes, because first of all, your perceived enemies want to weigh your strength. And also, you see, in any situation, when there are situations, the first thing situation do, they come to do what called show of strength, show of force. They'll do a parade. That first of all, some of those enemies that was brought in, that really wanted to fight, they were brought in to tell you that we can just overrun this. But when they see this force, they go back. When you do a show of force, you reduce the battles you are going to fight.
All right. I'll come back to you. But some are worried that Trump is erratic, that you cannot reason with him, because it's not a normal politician that want to romance or play politics. He sees just go and he goes. No matter who asks is God. Do you think the world will be safer with Trump in charge? Don't forget the concerns raised by some Americans. Say, look, indirectly they're calling him a madman. Yeah. Take it up from there.
Yes, for me, I think the world will be safer with Trump. Yeah. Because the world we live in today do not deserve leaders that will be sluggish. They don't deserve leaders that don't know the way. They don't deserve leaders that will take time to take decision. Because the world we are today, you need to know the way as a leader and take the decision irrespective of who is involved. So when you have that cause, you need to be firm in your decision taking. Because it appears people of this generation and even generation to come appear not to know or know the way. So they need someone that will teach them, that will show them the way. Imagine a situation where someone will sit down and decide to, oh, let me check my identity, for example. It means that the person hitherto did not even know the foundation of his or her existence, for example. So what I try to say is that Trump coming to back is a victory for Americans and also for the world at large, because he's not going to take policies, he's not going to take issues very likely that are not going to be progressive. So he's a progressive person, and also a businessman. You know, not the usual politician. He's a businessman. Oh, we want to have a business with you, and this is what we bring to the table. So when I bring something to the table, you also bring something to the table. So not just you coming to have this kind of parasitic relationship with me. So the world don't need parasitic relationship. The world need leaders that will stand tall in their decision making and take their place of honor. US over time have a place of honor in the politics, in the world power today. So if someone is coming to take that place of honor in this dispensation, you need someone that can tell them, no, you cannot. Like he said, we are not competing. US cannot compete with other nations. They have their own mandate. They have their own power. Okay, when you have a weak leader, obviously you are going to weaken the power of that nation. Take it or leave it. So for me, though it may be a threat to some persons, but I feel if you are a leader from other nations and you do the right thing, you have almost the same ideology. What is the ideology? The people first, before any other. The people that you swear an allegiance to govern. If you take their welfare, it's a great job for them and the rest. I think you'll be a friend of Trump. Trump is saying, you build your territory. Everybody go back to your territory, build your territory so that we can have common things to do together. If, for example, you have crude oil and I have technology, let's see how best we exchange batting and see how best I enjoyed yours and you are enjoying mine. And these are things Trump, in all fairness, stands for. And these are things Trump will do now as president of the United States.
It's like both of you are just Team Trump. Let's take a look at the issue of women, abortion, and how they should comport themselves. That was a cry of the Democrats. You don't tell us how and when we should take a decision about our body. That was the thing that came on the House and the Democrat. They really projected to the American society. How do you think all this will fare right now in taking care of the women in America?
Okay, one of the mantras of America is that America is God's own country. And America constitution is patterned with the Bible. And that was the what Trump stood by. That look, this thing is a sin. And it has to be, it cannot be legalized. And you see, it didn't all go well with some persons. But you see, that was the path the Democrat took. But you see, one of the things that really worked against the Democrats was clear that this was what they were pushing. We want to legalize abortion. We want to legalize marijuana. Those were in the issue for the moment. And all of that. So the Trump position is clear. The only thing I was thinking that was going to work against Trump was that, number one, 78. Trump as today is the oldest America president-elect.
As Joe Biden.
Yes. Then after 130 years, is the only president that have been re-elected. And all of that. So we thought that those things work against them. But you see, that's what I keep telling people. Now, don't just follow leader based on, it's my party, it's my party. When these policies are not up to date for the now, please, for the sake of our born children, for the sake of the common interest of everybody, Let's queue behind the person who has the policy to deliver us now. We have to be before we begin to say this is mine or this is not mine. And that's what the American citizen has shown. That look, within these two persons, the top two runners, what they get to offer, what are they saying? What do we really need? The Make America Great Again was one slogan that I know that Donald Trump stole from Edo State. Did you forget that was how Obaseki came?
He stole from Edo State, or they stole from America.
No, he stole from Edo State. Obaseki said, make Edo great again. Did you forget?
You are the one.
I don't
That's right now.
It's funny thing. I say this Donald Trump is very wise. This Donald Trump has come to steal our make Edo State.
They are saying they stole from America.
From America. Because this is the only first time we are hearing make America great again. The slogan really worked. The slogan was everywhere. It's like when we say 4+4 talk about it was just like in America. We have friends in America, make America great again. In a ceremony, make America great again. Who were they later talking about? Trump. That's what it was. So politicians must sit down right now. We are coming to play politics. Look for a slogan that works.
For a slogan that
Look for a slogan that works. And say yourself. It was more easier to say slogan than to announce a candidate.
all right. It's all right.
People did not look whether it was old or whatever. They now begin to follow what was now free, fair to their lips. Make America great again. And every heart wants America great.
Okay, now finally, before we call it a wrap on this segment, because we have all that discussion to really get involved in, I have Jolly John already waiting to come join on the next segment. As it stands right now, take a look at the system of election in America, electioneering in America. You're opined on it. When we talk about the first voter, the computer will just show that this is the first person is voted. It'll be a round of applause here. Welcome on board, first-time voter. You take a look at the way the computer system worked. They are giving it to you as it is coming from each unit in Nigeria, each ward, each county for America, and from there, swing state. It was just seamless. There were no interruptions because in Nigeria, get to hear the IREP stopped working. IREP failed. So let's focus on manual. I mean, now, what do you have to say about that, Dr. Dan? It was just similar. I was just monitoring. It was just trickling in. The numbers, electoral college, popular vote, everything mattered and everything, they were like, counted seamlessly.
Yes, well, you discovered that for me, you can't really compare the two entities in terms of technology, in terms of the people, the consciousness of the people. So for me, it can also work in Nigeria if we have the same, almost or near the same factor. For example, the issue of technology. How many of us in this country do actually have that strong grip with technology? It's not just use your phone to make calls. There are so many things your phone can do for you. Okay, without looking down on maybe one or two persons. I tell you the truth, vast majority in our system today are still far from the reality in terms of technology. Then let us look at the structures on ground for technological advancement. Zero. For example, when you have your laptop, you don't see light, power. Okay, they'll tell you, oh, there's network, but there's no power. Sometimes there's power, there's no network. The network is... So not until we put all of this into check, we have infrastructure that we go around the fabric of this nation, where even the river area can boast of having high network there and also power. So you see, there are issues that we must address first before we can dare to do that more. Even when we try to, let us even have all of this put in place in our own electoral system, you see, there are people manipulating it. The manipulators are many because vast majority of persons don't know how all of this are done. For example, if I am using a system and someone is manipulating behind the back or behind the scene, I will know. Okay, we've seen people hacking or having intention to hack sometimes our account social media account and we will just know. Sometimes we'll call them, we'll laugh and say, look, why not channel your energy for better things? Because there are certain things they are looking for to release the information to them, and which I will not do as a person. But others that is not too technologically inclined, we just do. So you see, not until we build structures, we develop our people also to be of that level. Like I was telling some persons yesterday, one of the reasons Trump won is because of that level of education. It's also a factor there. That the level of education, when I mean level of education, I don't mean you must have a PhD. No. I mean that education awareness within you that look, it's not about party A or about party B, but it's about people, someone, a leader that can deliver. The person may not be able to speak good English, in quotes. The person may not be able to be flowing like this, but the person will just have all it takes to lead the people. Are you getting me now? So for me, for us to have this kind of that type of election where you just celebrate the first voter, you celebrate this. Yeah, we can't even determine who was the first voter, four-time voters. Yeah, sometimes we don't even have the mechanism to know. So we must put all of these first, starting from the grassroots.
All right. From the grassroots. Some are saying our issue is not tech. Your last line, rather, you just made your last line. So I'm saying that the issue is not technology. It's we Nigerians that are manipulating this thing, because tech, if it's working the country in A, nothing will prevent it from working the country B. The same format, the same everything. So how come in our own case, get to here, you just get to a point, IRF, in pidgin English, IRF don't spoil. They work again. I mean, it's...
Okay.
In the election yesterday, I was monitoring BBC, another station, and as I was just watching, I changed to the station, went through my phone, following the format. Everything was just coming seamlessly. Pennsylvania, Kentucky, swing states, everything. Bishop.
Yes, I will tell you that we have the technology here, just like they have in America or every part of the world. But I can tell you, the ones we have here are installed with the intention to manipulate it. When I was telling somebody, the problem of our country, politicians will not solve them. They say, who will not solve them? I said, okay, the only people, the only institution that have the power to solve the problem of Nigeria is INEC. They create the problem. Every problem that Nigeria has been having from inception, I could give you all the INECs.
Why would you say it's INEC?
Okay, yes. When a man buys his way to the office, he will buy his way to stay at the office. Yeah, some people who know the secrets of how he came in, that will keep playing bouncy to their tune. I'm dumbfounded when a city president will say there is a cabal. I think the power of any nation should start and end in the seat of any city president or governor. Such person will not say there is a cabal. Because of this cabal in the fuel subsidy, we are removing it. We can't fight them. Oh, are you for real? Now it tells you that the Bible says when the foundation is faulty, what can the righteous do? The problem again is that these guys will look at the face and say, you're not coming back. We saw what almost happened to our governor that is outgoing now when his party, then party, threw him off, die minute because of cabals and all of that. If that continues, the problem continues.
All right.
If we have a free, fair process, there are people. Nigeria have one of the best human resources anywhere in the world. I can tell you. That can make things work here. But some of all these people, look, I was telling someone the other day, you are not a can't carry political member. I am not. Why? We don't want our name so. Praise those people at least that stake their neck. Yes. You go and play politics. No, I don't want to. You can't wake up in the night. The some of these meetings are held at midnight. I can't wake up in the night. And all of that. I don't know how to have boys. And all of that. So that's what I'm saying. Why people who can take this risk goes there and manipulate everything. everything about governance here is not working because the intention, first of all, is put there with the intention to manipulate.
Late. All right.
The IRF, they never put it there to get fairness.
All right. All right.
You imagine they'll tell you no network. People will not be giving them private, giving them hotspot. Say, let me call with your Wi-Fi, which can be attacked from there. I said, what kind of system? What is all of this?
Well,
it's disheartening.
Thank you.
But that's where we find ourselves. But we must begin to correct it.
all right.
We call on our institutions like INEC. We want to see the days of, was it called Wosu, that conducted Abiola's
Election.
And I can tell you the name of the worst INEC chairman.
We don't want to go to that.
Yeah, we're not going to that.
We're not going to that.
We see, they're not begin to call you today.
Thank you. Thank you, Bishop. It's okay. It's okay. Well, lessons to learn from the US election. You saw how seamless it was. The winner knew beforehand that he was going to win, and eventually won because of what they were seeing. They were all monitoring it. The loser also knew that she was going to lose before the end, but because she saw everything. In pidgin English, no, Juru.
Yeah.
The more you look, the more you see. That is for the American election.
Yeah.
Not the more you look, the less you see.
Yeah.
It's the more you look, the more you see, because everything is spelled out. If you turn 18, the system have a way of adjusting immediately to bring you up to speed. And once you go there to vote, it just certify you. You need to go queue up. You're battling for PVC. You're battling for this. But what is it? The RX should work. All of a sudden, it's no longer working. Get to hear RX stop receiving data, or stop receiving inputs. Just leave it. It cannot continue. But in the US, it never stopped. There were no glitches anywhere. People were watching. The world was watching. Americans were watching because they knew how they voted. They even knew the states that flipped because they were watching. Maybe the state belonged to the Democrats, now become belong now to the Republicans. They knew what happened because they saw the voters, the way they voted. As they're monitoring the popular vote, they're monitoring also the electoral college vote. Everything seamless, everything transparent. When will Nigeria get to that stage? Like what Bishop said, he said, look, the problem begins with INEC. Some are saying, no, it's the politicians. No. If we have a system that works, whether INEC, politicians, nobody will falter it. Nobody can fault it. Nobody will make it not to work. Or is it because someone built it so that it's been subject to manipulation? Like, okay, if I trick this button, trick this byte, trick this algorithm, is going to give me this result. Is that what you're doing? Let's follow America in the way they conduct the election. Seamless, free, fair, credible. If you win, you win. If you lose, you lose. You will see it. Because in a system, the more you look, the more you see, and you see clearly. Kudos, Donald Trump, Kamala Harris, like what you said yesterday. You keep fighting. You try again till you win. As it stands right now, Senate, House of Rep, presidency, Republicans also. So Donald Trump will not have an excuse to give. No excuses. You have it all. No excuses. So the world right now is in turmoil. You said you can fix it. Please fix it. All right? Russia, Ukraine, Israel, Hamas, Israel, Hezbollah, Israel, Iran. Fix it. Because you said when you come, you will fix it. The world is watching. The world is watching. Gentlemen, thank you so much.